Hello, and welcome back to another chapter of the White Album 2 manga. Today we're starting out on Volume 2. After the emotional whirlwind that was the end of Volume 1, ready to start fresh. So, everybody knows what happens. It's the famous scene. Haruki ends up hugging and kissing Kazusa in the airport, and Setsuna is right behind them, crying and mortified. But it is what it is. So here's the cover for Volume 2. Really, really cute. I love this. I love the full color art. I love that it's art that we haven't seen anywhere else. Like, they never reused this art, which I think they could have. They could have made a poster out of this or something, because look at their expressions. It looks just really, really nice. Setsuna's happy. Kazusa's blushy, but kind of angry. So coming into White Album 2. Again, the story and art is by 2C equals... Ooh, galore. In Japanese, garoa. But I guess I see what they did. And of course, supervised by Fumiaki Maruto, he was the original script writer for White Album 2. Setsuna's getting pelted with a snowball, as you can see. Now we get another second full color image, because every one of these manga has like a bonus image, and this one is Koharu, because now we're heading into the closing chapter. We're going to meet the side heroines, which is very exciting. So we have Koharu in her goodies uniform. Of course, if you're reading this manga for the first time without having played the game, you wouldn't know who she is. You're like, who is that girl? It looks like Kazusa. Fan service, as usual. So, heading down to the new character descriptions. So, what's interesting about this is that in every manga, whenever they do the character introductions, once you hit like Volume 2, Volume 3, subsequent volumes, they update the character profiles to give you a refresher on who they are as of this moment, which is pretty cool. So, Kazusa Toma, Haruki's former classmate, one of those who stood on stage in the legendary Live. Legendary Live? It's the live performance from the introductory chapter. She added in music to the lyrics that Haruki had written in secret, completing the song Unreaching Love. After graduating from Hojo High School, she crossed over to Europe in order to follow her path as a pianist. Which isn't a bad decision. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Then Setsuna Ogiso. Hojo University Politics and Economics Department, 3rd year. Was an idol-like figure in high school who won the unofficial Miss Hojo High contest 3 years in a row. Her popularity reached its peak when she performed vocals in the legendary Live at the school festival during her 3rd year. And even now, she still catches the attention of those around her. So as you can see, this one starts out after a pretty significant time skip, right? It was years ago. So they're kind of... Not slowly, they're quickly introducing us like, hey, just so you know, we've skipped a couple of years. Haruki Kitahara, Hojo University Literature Department, 3rd year. During high school, he played in the legendary Live that is still spoken of today. After his relationships with Setsuna Ogiso and Kazusa Toma following that, he is currently living a life that keeps him driven into a corner. While he is steeped in his work, his grades are as excellent as ever. Well, maybe he deserves it. Now we get to meet the side heroines kind of before we even read their story, which is interesting. It's an interesting way to do it. Mari Kazaoka, magazine editor at Kaio, the publishing company where Haruki works part-time. She comes off as a bit of a workaholic, but she is also a picture-perfect working woman, otherwise known as OL office lady. Chiaki Izumi, Hojo University 3rd year, transferred into the literature department and is in the same seminar group as Haruki. Both she herself and others acknowledge her as a slacker, and her problem at present is whether she will advance a year, basically move to the next grade. Koharu Sugiura, Hojo High School 3rd year. Very helpful, relied upon by everyone, and firmly presses people with sound arguments. A 2nd-term committee member, much as Haruki once was. They word that so awkwardly, I think. By playing the game, you know what that is, but by reading the manga, it's a bit vague. But Haruki was the chairman during his second semester at high school. He wasn't even there for a full year. And the same with Koharu. She was not on the council for a full year. So many characters, holy cow. Sato-san, substitute manager at Goodies, a family restaurant where Haruki has worked part-time. Takahiro Ogiso, I love Takahiro so much, he's so cute. Setsuna Ogiso's younger brother, and a third year at Hojo High School. He followed in his big sister's footsteps, and I love that for him. He is classmates with Koharu Sugiura, and before her, he undertook the duty of first-term committee member. So basically, him and Koharu are making up the student council for the younger generation. Takeya Izuka, which this picture, by the way, does not look like Takeya. I do not like the way they depicted this. His hair isn't even blonde. I don't know why they did it. Hojo University, third year. Haruki's best friend since high school, who worries about Haruki and Setsuna's relationship. He himself is an unrivaled playboy. Some things never change. Kazumi Nakagawa, floor chief at Goodies, has a big-hearted personality and a voluptuous body. Are you kidding me? Imagine you only get a character profile at the beginning of something, and the one thing they say about you is that you have a voluptuous body. I mean, it's true, but come on. So then we move on to Tomo Yanagihara, Hojo University, second year. When she was in high school, her bid for Miss Hojo High was thwarted by Setsuna. Was also momentarily a part of the light music club and caused its complete disintegration. Which is not true, because it did not completely disintegrate. Takeya and Haruki were still there, and then they recruited Kazusa and Setsuna. I almost skipped over Miyoko Yada, because I'm not a huge Yada fan. Hojo High School third year, a student at the cram school where Haruki works part-time. Now, I will say, in the manga, Yada is adorable. I love the way she looks. Very much the shy glasses girl type, which I'm a fan of. But I don't like her in the game. I don't really like her personality. And lastly, we have Io Mizusawa, Hojo University, third year. She and Takeya have had a relationship since middle school, for better or worse. From a standpoint of knowing both Haruki and Setsuna, well, she feels concern over how they're doing. As everyone should at this point. So, a lot of character introductions because a lot has happened. You know, it's been years since we last left off. So let's catch up and see how everybody's doing. Look, more people are showing up. Let's get going. So there's this mixer with the medical department. I'm sorry, I had plans with a friends that day. We're doing karaoke first. Why don't you just come to that? Setsuna looks so much older and more mature here. I'm sorry, really, but I can't do that. I don't sing. Oh, and we see Haruki just passing by. And Setsuna saying she doesn't sing. What a throw, right? From the last volume to now. She was she loved singing. She loved karaoke and all this. Then, the event happened with Haruki and Kazusa. And now all of a sudden, I don't sing. Heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. Oh, and she sees Haruki. Session 7. Days apart. Haruki is a little bit shocked. You can tell things aren't exactly super friendly between the two as of now. What's up? Oh, Setsuna. Never mind. It's nothing. It's nothing. Let's get going, Izumi. If we don't hurry, all the seats will be taken. This is so cruel. How can you do this? Look, in life, I'm not saying you have to remain friends with everyone. I'm not saying that you have to date the same person forever. You can make your own decisions. But the fact that he's just pretending she isn't there is so bad. You know that song, Somebody That I Used to Know? It's literally that. Like, you don't have to cut me off. Oh no, that's so sad. If anyone should be doing this, it should be Setsuna, honestly. Passing by Haruki, pretending he doesn't exist. Yeah, alright. Oh. And not even just... If Haruki were alone, this would be painful, right? But the fact that he's with another girl and ignoring Setsuna is like 100 times worse. My skin is tingling. A chill is running up my spine. That's because it's winter. Yeah, of course. That's why. Because it's winter. The third White Album season since I entered Hojo University has arrived. You know, it sounds really cheesy and corny in the story until you become a White Album 2 fan, and then every time you see this now, you're like, oh, the season of White Album. At least I do. I hope I'm not alone. I don't think I'm alone. 3 years ago. Oh God, don't show me the scene again. I don't want to see it again. It's too sad. Oh. Even after being betrayed so horribly, Setsuna didn't resent me. After we entered college, she didn't distance herself from me deliberately, but she didn't try to force the distance closed either. She just smiled kindly at me, even though I didn't deserve it at all. You're switching into the literature department? And this is normally not such a shocker, but this artist, Garoa, when characters are shocked or surprised, he always whites out their eyes, kind of like he's done here, which just goes to show how bad this is for Setsuna. She is not happy. Huh? What? I mean, why? Oh, I see. You want to work for a publishing company. I had no idea. Which, it's not the fact so much that he's transferring, as much as it is he didn't tell her. She is now disconnected from his life so much that he didn't even think to let her know he's switching departments in university. And that realization hits like a truck. It's really not because of the class transfer. Obviously, that's part of it, but it's just the realization that they're not as close. Not nearly as close. We'll be able to see each other, right? Of course. What am I talking about? We'll still be on the same campus and all. Oh, Setsuna. Hey. We'll be fine, right? Haruki. Wake up. Well, this is weird. You never space out like that, Haruki. Sorry. What were we talking about? Your lecture? Right. Look, I'll tell you as many times as it takes, Izumi. Haruki. Hey, about the fee we're supposed to pay to the lecturer? Oh, yes, I negotiated the cost, transferred the money, and verified its receipt. Thanks a million. Chiaki is not happy. I love Chiaki. My God, I'm so excited for the side heroines. It's so good. I know we're not going to follow their roots, like their individual romance roots, but I'm so excited to see them. Right. I told you this 1,000 times, Izumi. Yes, and I've heard it 1,000 times. Missing the last train because you were out drinking is no excuse for sleeping in the seminar room. Why not? I see the seniors doing it sometimes. Her little pinchable face. If you want to spend the night in the seminar room, get a project from the professor. You never even show up to seminar. When I went in to ask a question recently, I was told to ask you first, because you've been put in charge of my education. Professor. Oh no. It's like parentification, except it's like studentification or professorization. I don't know. I'll make a new word for it. Anyway, a woman alone in the seminar room at night, you ought to be more aware of the danger there. I'm going to be more careful from now on. That said, with her frumpy clothes, disheveled hair, her face, refined even with its lack of makeup. Dude, I hate how it picks apart femininity in White Album 2 so often. Like, they really, really do. Whenever they talk about Io, whenever they talk about Chiaki, or on the flip side, whenever they talk about Setsuna and, like, her feminine charms. Dude, she just looks like a girl. Like, come on. She's just a normal girl. You can call her, like, tomboyish, but the fact that they pick apart every part of Chiaki and Io really annoys me. She's a woman, but she doesn't feel that way. Chiaki Izumi is simply my seminar classmate. I am very grateful to have her presence in my life right now. That was great. She's saying thanks for the food, but there's no real English translation for that, I guess. So, today, Haruki-kun, about the seminar trip the professor is planning for next year. At the moment, we're looking into Niigata. We've picked out 3 hotels with tennis courts nearby, and we're in the midst of discussions. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, Izumi-san. Yeah, we just keep getting interrupted because Haruki's still a busybody in university. No worries. I feel like there are a few worries, in fact. What was it you were saying? Do you have anything else going on today? That was all. Or is it? After 4th block, I'm working at the cram school. After that, I'll be working at the publishers until late tonight. You're as much of a workaholic as always. Do you even have a private life? I'm a fully self-supporting student. And self-supporting student's kind of odd wording here, but really he isn't getting financial support from his parents, his family, from the school. He's paying everything by himself, is what he's saying here. You know, it seems to me like you deliberately take on heavier loads than you have to. And because of that, people use you however they please. That's funny, coming from you. Well, it's true. Just because it's coming from her doesn't make it any less true. And that hasn't changed from all the way back in Introductory Chapter. Haruki's a busybody, so people start to use him. Not necessarily maliciously, but in a way that's really stretching him thin. Kitahara-sensei? Oh, that's so weird to say. What is it, Yara? Can I talk to you? Come to think of it, you got that recommendation, right? Congratulations. Thank you. It's thanks to you, Sensei. I'd say it's thanks to your own hard work. No. Look, she's so cute. She really is so cute. In the game, I didn't like the way her bangs were drawn. They were like too thin. And I don't know, there was like too many of them. Usually in anime, they kind of clump hairs together and pretty, like this, basically. But in the game, I did not like the way Yara looked. Here, she looks adorable. You always stayed over time and kept teaching me. It's thanks to you. Yada. So, I have a question. Are you really quitting after this month? That. Oh, poor girl. It's common. It's common for girls to have crushes on the teachers. Especially in high school, middle school, high school, you start to you start to have crushes on people first. And then they look more mature and so cool and so kind because it's their job, obviously. Absolutely unhealthy, just saying, but not uncommon. You are, aren't you? Yep, I'm almost a senior. And what with my seminars and looking for a job, my days are going to get pretty busy. Oh, she's sad. But may I ask you another question then? When we were all introducing ourselves and someone asked you if you had a girlfriend, you said no. Is that still true? This is so cute. Oh. I really like the way she's depicted here. I didn't hate Yada at this point in the game either. She just really annoys me later on because she's the same thing over and over and over again. But here, honestly, the nerves that it takes to ask this question in the first place, good for her. Good for her being open and honest and communicating. Honestly, Haruki could learn from her. Of course. That's what this is about. That was a misunderstanding on your part. Please forget it. Uh-huh. Don't ask me any more questions about that. Good night. Pretty brutal. To the point, but pretty brutal. Not a very nice rejection. Hey, temp. Oh my god. Look, he looks... Oh my god. I love seeing these characters in different styles. They're so good. How's the tally going on that questionnaire I asked you to handle? I've got it all aggregated in a list, so I'll send it to you right now. Tick, 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 tick. So hey, Kitahara-kun. Our ranking series for curry restaurants in the metropolitan area will be moving into seafood next. Is it all right if I do it as a gathering of reviews on the web like we did before? I can have all of it put together tomorrow. Thanks so much. So busy. Busy, busy, busy Haruki. Always accepting assignments that he doesn't even need to accept that aren't even his work, by the way. Just saying. Kaio Publishing, a major publishing company with over 20 divisions, spanning from specialist journals to magazines with massive distribution. Among those divisions is a magazine called the Kaio Graph. And it is in the editorial department for that magazine that I work my second part-time job of the day. So many part-time jobs. I get here around 6 o'clock p.m., but I can work for 7 or 8 hours with no problem. It's the perfect job for me for 2 reasons. Just by showing up 3 or 4 times a week, I get an absolutely crushing workload and pay that more than covers my rent. Well, one of those things is good. One of those things is considered bad, but not to Haruki, I guess. And as I need both of these things, I'm not likely to quit this job anytime soon. It's too important. Sorry, could you put this into a 2-page layout? Will do. Kitahara, can we talk? I love Mari-san. I love her so much. I'm the one who gives you instructions. How many times have I told you not to take work from other members of the department? Sorry, I didn't think. Well, whatever. She got over that fast. If you've got that much free time, I'll give you 3 times as much work as before, and you'll just have to deal with it. Okay. Just kidding. I just got back from my business trip, so there's a lot to tackle. Mari Kazaoka, a member of the Kaio Graph editorial department and currently my direct superior. Dude, I wish I had Mari-san as my direct superior. She's so pretty. Look at her. I'm just a sucker for the office lady trope. She's so beautiful and hardworking, independent, amazing woman. Love it. No drama. Just working. No drama. That interview has 4 languages in total, so a transcription would be useful. I can't do anything other than English and French. Otherwise, it'll take at least twice the time. For someone so work crazy, you're pretty clear-cut on what you can and can't do. I mean, do you just expect him to speak 4 languages? You know? Even with English, that's pretty impressive if he's able to transcribe it, just being in university. When it comes to odd jobs, you're already at the level of someone who's been at it for 3 years. Aren't odd jobs something that lessen with time? Let me warn you, though. She downed her coffee in the last 10 seconds. You work way too hard for a part-timer. To me, it looks like you're deliberately running yourself into the ground. This is the second person that's told Haruki this today. First Chiaki, and now Mari-san. Have I hit the mark? Mari-san, aren't you the same? Oh, you think you got her. Nope, you don't. I've got enough experience to know where the line is when it comes to overworking myself. Of course, because my line is so high, it makes other people worry about me. That's a strange way to brag. That's a really open way of saying, yes, I'm a workaholic, but I'm on top of things. Well, forget about me. Kitahara, you're a college student. Couldn't you relax a little? There are all kinds of mixers and clubs around. There are also plenty... Oh, this is Haruki. There are also plenty of college students like me who are mundane, boring people with no hobbies. Well, you had a nice hobby. You had guitar, but if we're going by Setsuna's abandoning of her singing, you probably don't have that hobby anymore. Is that so? She's shocked. She's I haven't been in high school for a few years. University for a few years. Mari-san is not that old. I'm pretty sure she's 28. I should look that up again, but I'm pretty sure in-game she's 28 here. Well, anyway, keep up the good work. I mean, don't keep it up too much, but which one am I supposed to do? I'll just email you your assignment. Got it. I love her. Midnight. If I don't leave soon, Mari-san will yell at me. I'll check my assignment mail, and then I'll head out. Special feature. Japan's young geniuses around the world. Kazuhisa Sakayama, Serie B, Lecce? 17 years old. Left Fujiyama North High School and moved to Italy on his own. Miyuki Hirasaka, in-house pâtissier at a hotel in Paris, 23 years old. At the age of 19, she won a major confectionery competition. Freeze. What? There she is, in the only dress she owns. Seriously, though, why is she always in that dress? Kazusa? That definitely should be sure enough, not ure enough. Sure enough, there was the name of Kazusa Toma, the unknown daughter of the most famous pianist in Japan. What a throwback. After years of not seeing her, this must be pretty triggering. How long are you going to stick around here? Bap. Just baps him on the head. Oh, I love them. I'm really, really happy. We met 2 of the side heroines. They introduced us to Koharu, but we haven't met her quite yet because she comes in a teeny bit later in the story. Although granted how fast the manga goes, I'm sure we'll meet her very, very soon. So, thanks so much for joining me on part 1 of volume 2 of the White Album 2 manga, and I'll be back with the next chapter shortly. Until then, hope you take care. See you.